Have you chanted Radha Madhava already?
Not yet. Okay. If you're talking about that, I would like to give a little introduction.
Okay. Yeah, my Bhagavad.
Yeah, full Bible. It was a long one, so I have to pick the points too.
That's a short one there. ISKCON is there, that's a pretty short one.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming this evening. And thank you for coming right at 5 o'clock. Really appreciate that. So we were expecting Maharaj, and we already had a 15 minutes class in the room. So it started before time. So we have His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj with us. Haribo! So as we know, Maharaj is not new to us. He has been here for a couple of times in the past. And I think probably 7-8 years back, Maharaj was here last time, no? Don't remember? Okay. It has been a while, Maharaj, so you have to come a little more frequently. So thank you so much, Maharaj, for taking out time for us and remembering us. And Maharaj actually himself, he remembered. I want to go there. So great mercy, Maharaj. So just a quick introduction about Maharaj. Go and see his biodata. You must have seen the email. Lot of accomplishment Maharaj has. So Maharaj has been in the movement for over 35 years, right? So that's a long time. And Maharaj is initiated by His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj, first and second initiation. It was back in 1986. And then Maharaj got his sannyas initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj in Mayapur Dham. That was in 2009. And Maharaj is also initiating spiritual master, very important service in the movement of Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj is also a member of Sabha. It's a advisory committee, spiritual advisory committee that assists GBC, the governing body of ISKCON, in many subject matters. Accomplishment in academics, Maharaj's PhD in applied. I really had to look at it, but it was PhD in applied management and decision sciences from Walden University in Minneapolis. So really sounded to me a very high accomplishment. Maharaj has authored over 35 publications in the international journals, and Maharaj was sharing a couple of pastimes that he had because of his PhD, and that was very interesting. Hopefully we'll have time to hear from him about those stories. And Maharaj is very experienced in integrating the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition with management science. Maharaj has been inspiring a lot of youth in the movement, and we'll find out. I wish we had more youth here today, but and Maharaj has been guiding a lot of youth and of course adults also in the spiritual life in the movement of Srila Prabhupada. And the most important thing that I found about Maharaj is he's able to tie up our spiritual and material life, and he has been able to integrate our professional skills into the service of Srila Prabhupada and the movement. Very interesting thing that I was, when talking to Maharaj before the program, he was sharing how he has been inspiring his disciples and many youth that they should do PhD, become doctors, engineers, and then they should serve the movement. That is the priority. Sometimes we hear, we think material life or academic life is not that important, but how can we turn it around into the service of Krishna? That is very interesting that Maharaj is doing. So thank you, Maharaj. His Holiness Bhakti Yoga Maharaj ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So we'll hear more from Maharaj today. And the topic, I think I was not very clear because Maharaj has so many things in the biodata. So I requested Maharaj that it has been 12 years that we all have been coming together. So what is the next step? No matter what step we are in our spiritual life, what should be the next step for us? So hopefully we'll hear from Maharaj on that topic. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Jai Radha Madhava
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajacharya. Astro Sissiman, the divine graces confirmed the Cyrus here, Abhashan within the Bhakti Vedanta Swami Papa Maharaj Ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajacharya. Astro Sissiman, the divine grace, the Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Papa Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavena Ki Jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Si Kahao Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhar Si Vasari Si Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sisi Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinan Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Girigavadam Ki Jai. Subindavan Masuradam Ki Jai. Sinavadeva Mayapadam Ki Jai. Jagannapuradam Ki Jai. Gangamaya Yamunamaya Ki Jai. Simati Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glory is to the Summer Devotee. All glory is to the Summer Devotee. All glory is to the Summer Devotee. All glory is to Sisi Gaura and Guranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, reflecting on what the Krishna was saying about the next step, what to do. Oh, you've been here for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 12 years, 7 years. What? I have a slogan when I was a young man, before I joined the movement. I had this concept that the number of years I live on this planet is not an issue. What have I accomplished? And therefore, my father found it very difficult to deal with me because, even as a child, I was very much about what I could be in the future. So, that mentality, I still have that in my devotional life. And so, I try to implant those type of conceptions in my followers, in my friends, so that they don't just think about hanging out in the moment, but we should have strategic plans. Strategic plans means you think about what you're going to be. When you join the movement, you should have thought, what am I going to be in this movement in the next 5 years, next 10 years. Because life without strategic plans is bound to meet with very unfortunate situations, unaccomplishments. Because if you don't have plans, there's nothing to worry about. Yeah. You just goes around. Sometimes people say, I just follow the flow. So we can't just follow the flow because life is very short. On this planet, presently, we live for, someone lives for 100 years, it's like, oh, all glories. But for me, I never thought that I would be on the planet by this time because my Guru Maharaj left the planet when he was just 55. So I'm over 60, so I tend to see myself as someone who is on borrowed time. So whatever I need to do, I have to do it now. No need for procrastination. And therefore, my conception has been that, yes, let's follow what is the legacy that Prabhupada has given to us. What is that? Prabhupada, when he founded this movement at 26 Second Avenue, when he was having his Bhagavad Gita classes, he didn't really tell people about rules and regulations. What did he do? He engaged the young Americans and older folks who came to him to chant Krishna's holy names. He gave classes on the Bhagavad Gita and engaged them to chant Krishna's holy names. And sometimes Prabhupada would personally go to Tonston Square Park to embark on one-man squad Harinam. Why? Because that is the Yuga Dharma of the age, distributing Krishna's holy names. And this movement is not something that was founded even by Prabhupada, when Prabhupada simply inaugurated it. Lord Chaitanya actually inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. Prabhupada transplanted this Sankirtan movement from the Indian subcontinent to the Western shores. So this movement is Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. It's an import. We like imported goods. America, we import Japanese cars because it's believed that Japanese cars are very solid. So we like imported materials, we like imported infrastructure, we like imported machineries. Even our smartphones, they're not assembled in America. So if we transfer that interest of foreign goods to spiritual life, this is it. Golokera Prema Dan Harinam Sankirtan. This movement is important from the spiritual world. Therefore, we should embrace it without any reservations. How is that? We should follow the process. We have been associating with the devotees of the Lord for years. So, where do we stand now? What's the next thing we should do? Prabhupada Krishna has given that delineation in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, text 34. Tad vidhi pranipatena paripasnena sevaya upadekshanti tigyanam gyanina taptanasha. So I felt that this was something to start to discuss. That's a good step forward. What do you think, Krishna?
Perfect.
All right. So, I was already the text. And this is the age of smartphones, Bhagavad Gita chapter 4, text 34. You can check that up on the smartphone.
You post the link on the group.
Tad vidhi pranipatena
Tadvidhi pranipatena
pariprasnena sevaya
pariprasnena sevaya
upadekshanti te jnanam
upadekshanti te jnanam
jnaninas tatvadashinaha
jnaninas tattvadarshinaha
tadvidhi pranipatena
tadvidhi pranipatena
pariprasnena sevaya
pariprasnena sevaya
upadekshanti te jnanam
upadekshanti te jnanam
jnaninas tatvadashinaha
jnaninas tattvadarshinaha
tadvidhi pranipatena
tadvidhi pranipatena
pariprasnena sevaya
pariprasnena sevaya
upadekshanti te jnanam
upadekshanti te jnanam
jnaninas tatvadashinaha.
jnaninas tattvadarshinaha.
Someone try.
तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्षान्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन
परिप्रश्नेन
सेवया
परिप्रश्नेन सेवया
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेशान्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः.
So word for word translation and prepared by His Divine Grace is Confirmed Acharya. Srila Abhashan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Third, that knowledge of different sacrifices.
That knowledge of different sacrifices.
Vidhi,
Vidhi,
try to understand.
try to understand.
Pranipatena,
Pranipatena,
by approaching a spiritual master.
by approaching a spiritual master.
Pariprasnena,
Pariprasnena,
by submissive inquiries.
by submissive inquiries.
Sevaya,
Sevaya,
by the rendering of service.
by the rendering of service.
Upadekshanti,
Upadekshanti
they will initiate.
they will initiate
Te, you. Jnanam,
Jnanam,
into knowledge.
into knowledge.
Jnaninaha,
Jnaninaha
the self-realized.
the self-realized
Tattva,
tattva
of the truth.
of the truth.
Darshinaha,
Darshinaha
seers.
seers.
Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Please respond to repeat. Just try to learn the truth
Just try to learn the truth
by approaching a spiritual master.
by approaching a spiritual master.
Inquire for him submissively
Inquire from him submissively
and render service unto him.
and render service unto him.
The self-realized soul
The self-realized souls
can impart knowledge
can impart knowledge
unto you
unto you
because he has seen the truth.
because we have seen the truth.
Report. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. That's called opening statement. That's called opening sentence. In research, your introduction, your first sentence is what captures the reader. I think the journalists are very expert in catchy words. But it's not about try to reader. Yes, first sentence should give the reader an idea about the content of your subject matter, of your work. So here, Prabhupada, very interestingly, his very topic sentence, for me, this is very, very important. For me, this gives me an idea of the content of that book. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. It didn't say it's easy, it's juicy. No, it didn't say so. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord Himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in the disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, Text 19 says, Dharma tu saksha bhagavad pranitam. The path of religion is directly enunciated by the Lord. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive the knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender. And one should serve the spiritual master like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. One must be able to pass the test of the spiritual master. And when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission, in service, and inquiries. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodata Gurudai Puspavanto Chitachandra Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi One So thank you very much for coming to participate in this program. And this is a weekend. So weekends are normally full of activities. People work 5 days, intensive work schedule. During the weekend, they have to relax or go to the gym or go to have some fun, fly to Disneyland or something. Yeah, this is how people use their weekends. But if you're choosing to come to the temple, come to have satsang, means you love Krishna. Without love for Krishna, how could you just come this weekend? So we appreciate that. So in this very text, it's very simple. The next step. So we ask ourselves, what's the next step? Yes, we have been in the movement for some time. Yeah, but are we chanting 16 rounds? That's the very question that comes into play. But chanting 16 rounds, then we should be committed. Our Renaissance service regularly. If we are chanting, we should understand what is the meaning of that prayers. What is the meaning of that mantra? We are asking Krishna to engage us in the service. That's the essence of that mantra. But that is a pure state of affair, because normally people ask Krishna, give me money, give me job, give me woman, give me man, give me this, give me that, give me a big house, give me a car, give me this. But the devotee is asking Krishna, please give me some service. Give me some service. Imagine when you have your child, your 7 years old daughter or son in your home. You want to go to work, and then the child comes to you and says, Dad, your shoe seems to be dirty. Can I clean it for you? In America, you'll be surprised, right? Yeah. So that child who does that type of service to you, how are you going to think about that child? He puts you on an edge. The child puts you on an edge, positive edge. When you go out, you'll be thinking, what am I going to do to the child? How am I going to compensate? How am I going to repay the child abundantly for that voluntary service attitude without any motivation. So when we are praying to Krishna to render some service, this is what Krishna is thinking. Wow. Other people come to me to ask for this, ask for that. This devotee is asking me for service. So maybe sometimes we don't know the gravity of what we are doing when we're chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. People don't normally, even people call you, okay? People call you. They don't call you to ask you. In most cases, people don't call you to ask you, Govinda, how are you doing? How is your family doing? And I find this very, very intriguing because my lived experience that, I can tell for myself that, people call you, they call you for something that is beneficial to them. Yeah. So I remember one time, and this is so important, that how would you say you love someone when you don't communicate with the person? So here the devotee is communicating with Krishna. Not only communicating with Krishna, he is begging Krishna, please, please, engage me in your service. Imagine you have a kid, you have a son or daughter, and he comes to you, Dad or Mom, what can I do for you? And you've been wondering. Some people will even ask their kid, wait a minute, are you really an American child? That seems very, very, very strange. Yeah. But this is what this is the status of the devotee. The devotee is asking for service from Krishna. What do you think Krishna is going to be thinking? And so, when we come to devotional service, and we've been chanting for years, we should be thinking also, what is my service? What service am I rendering to Krishna? What is my service to Krishna? Because I'm praying, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, means I'm asking for Krishna for service. But there are services all over the place. I remember some time ago, one spiritual master, he had traveled to one country. He goes to that country once in a year. And so one of the disciples, she asked a question after he gave during the class. He said, Guru Maharaj, you don't stay here with us. How can I please you? So the Guru said, you have a temple present in this place? She said, yes. He said, if you want to please me, go and meet the temple president, ask him to give you, or how to give you some service. And if the president is pleased with you, you should know automatically, I am pleased with you. And this is also very much analogous to what is there in the song we sing every day in the morning during the Mangarati. Yes, the prasadam, nagati. Yes, the prasadam, Bhagavad prasadam. Yes, the prasadam, nagati. By pleasing the spiritual master, the Lord is automatically pleased. So the idea of approaching a spiritual master is that the spiritual master is a representative of Krishna. And if we please the spiritual master, Krishna is automatically pleased. And it is also very important for us to understand and imbibe a culture of service attitude towards the devotees. Because according to Padma Purana, Krishna was having a dialogue with Arjuna. In Padma Purana, Krishna mentioned to Arjuna that those who claim to be my devotees are really not my devotees. That those who are serving my devotees, those who are devotees of my devotees, they are the authentic devotees. So again, it boils down to this principle of service attitudes, submission, humble inquiries, proper coordinated values in terms of our relationship with each other, and understanding that at the time of death, the people around you may be the ones who will be by your deathbed singing, chanting Krishna's name. And so, yes, we may even have a spiritual master who is not available there, but we try to serve the representative of the spiritual master, who is a representative of Krishna. We should ask for service from the temple management. We should ask for service from the temple coordinator. We should ask for service from the temple president. This is how our system works. And we see that when we're doing that, we're making progress in our devotional life. We should also bear in mind that rendering of service to the spiritual master or making inquiries is something very traditional and cultural in the Vedic system. Because we see the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was based on inquiries. Sometimes we can be confused, and therefore we need someone to clarify our doubts. And that is the position of the spiritual master. And so, if we have been in the movement for a number of years, we should be able to attain a particular level which we ought to be grounded in chanting system rounds. I remember when I met the devotees, I got 2 books, so I read those books that night. I was living by myself. I had my own house, and I was living by myself. A young man, I was working for the Department of Justice, and so I went home and I read those books overnight. I didn't sleep. I just devoured those books. And then the next day I started chanting, because in those books it mentioned you have to chant. But I was chanting, without beads. So on the next Sunday I traced the temple. I went there for the Sunday feast, got the beads, bought more books, came back to my apartment. I started reading. And you know what? Our chanting, when I bought the beads, I started chanting 16 rounds. The day I bought those beads from the temple. That was less than a week when I met the devotees. And I was chanting 16 rounds. And then at some point in time, after a month or so, I felt I was not satisfied. So I started chanting. When I come back from work, then I lock myself in my apartment and then chant another 16 rounds. And then my friends were on my neck, because we used to, as young men, we used to go out in the night for, killing of time. They call it killing of time. But no one kills time. Time kills everyone. But then my friends were not happy with me because I cut off going out with them and all this stuff. So it was very intriguing, and I embraced the system wholeheartedly. Of course, that did not turn out to be so good for my family members, because after meeting devotees for 6 months and for 3 months and I was that serious, I met devotees in December, and in February I was on vacation. I decided to spend my last 2 weeks at the temple with devotees. And after those 2 weeks, I couldn't go back to work. I got glued to the temple. So, yeah, it's the chanting. The chanting is what tells us who we are going to be in the future. And the life is too short, you know. Then the tendency for us to be comfortable in life. But, you know, Bhakti Swami, he told us we have to have a particular type of mindset and emergency consciousness. Because death can come at any time. If we don't think about the fact that we need to have an emergency consciousness, we can just be too comfortable with our lives because we have the resources and we don't take spiritual life. We don't take the next step in our spiritual life. And then we risk to come back again to this material world. But there's no need for that because see, I've traveled around, I have the degrees, and some of my friends, they even have 3 PhDs, but they're not happy with their lives. In India, one professor, I went to one presentation, and one professor, you know, after the presentation, normally if you go to academic conferences, the whole idea about scholars coming together is to critique each other, you know, each other's presentation. So after my presentation, I was ready for, you know, critical feedback. But this young professor, he was teaching at a university in South India. He didn't ask a question. His comment was, Dr. Das, you are not born in India. And now you're a leader in an Indian cultural organization. Tell us all that you did to come about it so that we can follow your footsteps. That was the comment of the professor. So it turned out to be like a preaching. Instead of professors criticizing each other, that was his comment. He wanted to know how I got into the system, and so I started preaching how I joined the movement and all these things. And after the conference, he came to meet me with his mother. His mother was there for the conference with him. Because, you know, a number of people, they value the high profile positions of their children. So the mother went with him to the conference. So it was intrigued by the fact that, you know, someone was not born in India. Hey, he's a Swami, he's a big time scholar. Tell us what we have to do to become also devotional and spiritual. So here you are, you're in America, and America is full of, you know, distractions. Yet, you don't get distracted. You are attracted to Krishna. Take the next step forward. Take the next step forward. Because people are yearning to be in a position. Some people, they may hear about the glories of Krishna consciousness and they don't have that courage. They don't have the emotional courage to come and listen to Bhagavad Sapta. Not to speak of associating with the movement, associating with these teachings for 10 years, 5 years, 7 years, 15 years. Take the next step forward. Because life is too short. You see, India is going very, very far in this Krishna consciousness. I'll tell you a story. See, I stayed in Mayapur for 2 years, 7 months. Mayapur was like my home. Kolkata was like my office. In Kolkata, I used to stay more in a temple, small temple, but in the most expensive area of Kolkata. It's called New Alipur. In this temple, there are about 14 devotees. It's a temple where they cultivate students. The temple president is a scientist. He has a PhD in some science field. The wife, a young lady, she's an ophthalmologist. They are full-time preachers. Full-time preachers. The vice president is a scientist. He has a PhD. The cook is a scientist. He has a PhD. The temple commander is a scientist. We have five PhDs in that small temple. These are people who sacrifice their lives just for preaching. They have the skills. They are taking initiation. They've taken the step forward. They've taken shelter of a spiritual master, rendering service, making humble inquiries. So we should take a step forward in our spiritual life. If we have not chanted 16 rounds, we should make some genuine efforts to start increasing the quantity and improving the quality of our job. It's not too late. We may say, well, I'm so busy with work, I'm so busy with school. I like meeting people like that. I remember I was in Michigan, and there was one boy. He just finished his MBBS in India, and so he got scholarship to do his MD in America. And so he got attracted to me, so he was traveling with me or moving around in Michigan with me. I remember one time we were going for a program, and he was in the car. Some devotee was driving, and he raised this issue. He said, Maharaj, can I ask a question? I said, come on, you're my friend. Ask any question you want to ask. He said, we medical doctors, we don't have time to chant 16 rounds. Because we're very busy with studies, research, attending to people in hospital. We don't have the time. I said, thank you very much for sharing this important information. So I asked him, you think you're the first medical doctor in this movement? I said, even the home I stay in Washington, D.C., the man is a medical doctor. He has big deities at home. He wakes up 5 o'clock to do puja every day, to do Mangalati every day before he goes to work. He has 2 kids. He drives the children to school. The wife is a registered nurse. He chants 16 rounds every day. I said, I know so many people who are doctors in this movement, they chant 16 rounds every day. How is it that you are saying you are too busy to chant? I said, it's all right. Tell me something. How many hours do you use for sleeping? He told me. How many hours do you use for your studies? MD, involved in social studies. He told. How many hours for eating? He told. Anyway, at the end of that inquiry, at some point in time, he busted out, almost like crying. He said, I'm sorry, Maharaj, I didn't use my time properly. I said, so it's good that you realize you did not effectively manage your time. The major problem that some people were using their school or career as an excuse is that they don't implement effective time management strategies to be able to integrate their profession and their sadhana. So, that problem is a general problem. It's a global problem. Effective time management. If we do that, we can find the time to be able to chant 16 rounds. The 16 rounds is just the minimum. I never chanted 16 rounds for the whole of my spiritual life. Even before I joined the temple, I never chanted 16 rounds. I was chanting 32 rounds before I joined the temple. And I was walking as a young man. I could just go out and then, roam around and, But no, after being exposed to these teachings, come on, I found that there's a goal to human life. There's a goal to human life now. So, we should think about that ultimate goal and try to have our activities revolving around that goal, which is to attain Krishna consciousness. Krishna Prema Pumato Moha. If that is achieved, then our life is successful. But that begins with aligning with spiritual authority who will guide us. And aligning with spiritual authority implies we follow a particular standard, at least for chanting at least 16 rounds daily. In Mayapur, there was this young girl. She was born in America, my friend's daughter. The parents moved to Mayapur because of the girl's schooling. She's the best child in the whole of Mayapur.
Wow.
She got second initiation before at the age of 16.
Wow.
Second initiation. She did a Bhakti Sastri before age 16, before she climbed 16 years old. Because the focus is just on Krishna and her studies. So, the system in our movement is such that there is a lot of opportunities for systematically studying Prabhupada's books. But then the whole idea of studying Prabhupada's books is to come to this level of chanting at least 16 rounds daily and aligning, taking a responsibility in our society. And we cannot take a responsibility if we don't have proper sadhana. Proper sadhana begins with chanting 16 rounds daily. That gives us the impetus to be able to render service without cessation. So it's not a big thing. Next step forward. It's not a big deal. We should just understand that life is very transitory. Life is very transitory. Otherwise, I mean, how could just a small temple and some scientists give up their life? I remember I went to give a lecture, a public talk at IIT Kharagpur, Indian Institute of Technology in Kharagpur, near Delhi there. So when we finished the program, many of these attendees, they came to me, "Can I have a photo with you? Can I have a photo with you?" I was just wondering what is going on. So when we finished, when I went back to Mayapur, one guy, he's doing his PhD in finance. He wrote me, he put up a big statement on LinkedIn, and he tagged me. In that statement, he was mentioning what Dr. Vasudev said pierced my heart. Even now, I am feeling it.
Wow.
I don't know why I really say that. I really touched him so much. And the interesting what he said was that, when I contacted him and we were having a chat, he told me, "I want to give my life to Krishna." I said, "Yeah, no problem. Finish the PhD first." Yes. I think when he was doing his IT, he stayed in one of these places where devotees, in India, they have these voice places where they have like a flat and or some small center where students are cultivated. He spent his IT period in that environment, and he visits the temple all the time. Another program I went to this National Institute of Technology in Durgapur. I know the professor who invited me, she's a mathematician. She has a PhD in mathematics. So she invited me for a presentation. And, after the presentation, she was so enthused. She brought me to her office. The other devotee who went with me were there, and she was expressing so much of gratitude about the fact that she was encountering this Krishna consciousness in a higher institution. She started following Ekadasis, started chanting. So people out there, they really want to grow in their spiritual life. We want to grow in a spiritual, and we are here to encourage you to take this step forward. If you have been chanting one round, move forward. And gradually increase until you get to 60 rounds. But even 60 rounds is not the maximum, is the minimum required. And then you can speak with the temple management on how the requirements for having initiation. Then you can be guided. You have a personal guidance from a spiritual master. You can make inquiries. You can render service. It's not a difficult thing. If we make it difficult, that's a different thing. But the process itself is very simple. Any comments or questions?
Maharaj, thank you so much, Maharaj, for addressing this most important, I think, step, which should be the next step. So in your discourse, you brought up the point of cutting off from the normal life. So I was thinking, one of the fear we as aspiring devotees have is that if we do too much in spiritual life, we will get cut off from the so-called normal life. It happens.
Yeah, I know that in India people are very apprehensive of this. You know, a number of people, they don't allow their kids to get involved in Krishna consciousness because they fear that, you know, they become sadhus. Yeah, but we are also, I for one, I don't really advise my followers to do otherwise. I advise my followers to do the difficult, the integration. Integration is very difficult. In calculus, if you study calculus, there's a section of calculus that is dealing with integration. And during integration classes, even the most brilliant students in calculus, they could walk away from the class because it becomes too abstract. So yes, integration is difficult. But people are doing it. Bhakti Yoga is a good example. So it's not something that is undoable. People are doing it. And we should understand that. With Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was traveling South India, when this Brahmin came to him, he said he wants to give up everything and just follow him. Lord Chaitanya said, go back to your home and make your home in the temple. Spiritualize your home. So people tend to misunderstand the very phenomenon of Krishna consciousness, thinking that, or when you become very serious, then you're cut off from your family or cut off from your job. I, for one, I don't really ask my disciples or my followers, my friends, to do that. Rather, ask them to do the difficult. Integration is difficult, so do the difficult. Bhakti Yoga is a good example. Yeah, you can have the most proficient person do this, so we should not have entertain that fear of oh, you do too much and then you cut off from everything. No. I remember, you know, Bhakti Swami Maharaj, there was one of his disciples, the lady who became got initiation from him, became his disciple. She was in university at the time that she was coming to the temple, and she wanted to move into the temple to be a brahmacharini. And then, so he told this lady, white lady, he told her that if you don't finish your degree, no initiation. So she stayed back, finished her degree. She became the editor-in-chief of all these books. Yeah. So we are realistic, we are practical, we're down to earth. We want people to understand that our process is that of Yukta Vairagya, utilizing everything, every resources, every talent in the service of the Lord, and at the same time being who you are, being yourself, being able to cater for your family and your loved ones. Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Any other comments? Questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Wonderful.
Accept my obeisances.
Don't know.
Sure. Maharaj, you talked about the process is very simple. We make it difficult.
Yeah.
Why do we make it difficult?
Because we are complex people, we make it difficult. We like to make things difficult. You see, in the material world, we create problems and then we try to solve those problems and make people feel that,
You're
this
very
material
smart.
world is very, very bad. We create problems. We are complex people. It's our nature. So we create problems. And then we shout as if, the problems are imposed on us, but we create problems. Think about it. Tell me one problem in this material world that we did not create. Just tell me one thing. Yeah. It's our nature, to make things complex. Yeah. So we should chant when we become purified, this bad nature will be purified. We see things in a simple way and we adopt this simple living and high thinking. Yeah, we like to live sophisticated lives of animalistic tendencies, and there's no need for that. And then we make the things complicated, then we start getting the reactions, and then we shout, we cry wolf. This is very bad. Yeah. Okay, somebody breaks the rules and he's afraid of going to jail, and then he said, I'm entitled to immunity. Just let me go. Okay. So we make things complex. The laws of nature, Prabhupada would emphasize this point. The laws of nature are very stringent. So we will make things complex. The stringent laws of nature will come down and implement the execution of enforcement. That's why we are suffering. So thank you for that question. And any other last comment or questions?
Maharaj, I know it's your Prasadam time almost.
Not just that, they need to use the restroom.
Quickly, because I was going through your website, very fascinating topics you have in your publications.
Okay, see, I just mentioned this. See, one of the things that I do is really implementing or using Gaudiya Vaishnava technologies in profiling solutions to leadership, management, and social issues. So recently I conducted a research on how chanting the Hare Krishna prevents financial fraud.
Wow.
It was published in the International Journal of Mechanical and Industrial Engineering. I had it presented at the World Academy of Science, Engineering and Technology in London on 28 June 2021. And the same mantra we chant. The same mantra we chant. So I had it presented and it received the Best Presentation Award.
Yes, very good.
But it's speaking in the language of the management scientists. The title of that research is Sonic Therapeutic Intervention for Preventing Financial Fraud. A phenomenological study. Prabhupada said we can use their own tools and break their head. Yeah, so, yeah, material world, yeah. I remember when I traveled to South Africa one time and I was staying with a friend, young couple. The man is energy research fellow. The woman is an IT research fellow. So the husband, he took me to some universities. We met some white professors. I wanted him to take me to departments of leadership. So I met with these professors, 3 universities we went. I met with these professors. My idea was to distribute Bhagavad Gita to these professors. And then I went to these professors, introduced myself, and then I was speaking with them about leadership. And they were very much interested. They were talking about leadership in Africa and leadership in the global village. And then I spoke to them on a number of things based on the Bhagavad Gita. And I gave them Bhagavad Gita. I showed them, some themes about leadership in the Gita. And I did that to 3 white professors in the departments of leadership in the 3 different universities. So we left, went to his car, we were driving home. And then this devotee, he said, Maharaj, all the things you spoke with those professors, they are things we hear in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita class. The only difference is how you channel your talks, your language. I said, yeah, it's the same thing. We just we speak in the language, and then they say, yes, tell me more. So, yeah, these are some of the styles. I don't do something really strange, except that I do the integration of management science and Gaudiya Vaishnava technologies, and that seems to go well with the management scientists. So that's how we're able to do the preaching that we do. All right, I need to use the restroom.
Sure.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I think we can start Aarti. And we can take Prashad next. Welcome a little forward for the Aarti.
Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namo Krishna Prabhu Nityananda. Krishna
Paramahamsa, Parivrajakacharyas, Astotra, Stars, Systematic Divine Grace, ISKCON Pranacharya, Abhajam, Vena Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Papa Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Vishnu Paramahamsa, Parivrajakacharyas, Astotra, Stars, Systematic Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Thakur, Swami Papa Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai, Namacharya Sri Haridasa Koti Ki Jai, Prem Sri Kaham Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Vitahara Sri Vasari Sri Gaura Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopal Gotina Simakunda Radha Kunda Giri Gopatan Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mathura Dham Ki Jai, Mayapanava Vidam Ki Jai, Jagannapuram Dham Ki Jai, Gangamaya Vanamaya Ki Jai, Sumita Totsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Our glory is to the sum of devotees, our glory is to the sum of devotees, our glory is to the sum of devotees, our glory is to Sri Gaur and Gauranga.
Thank you, Maharaj, once again. We look forward to see you hopefully soon again in the area. I don't know what is your travel plan, but I know you have been traveling extensively. You were mentioning so many places I couldn't even remember upstairs. So thank you so much again, Maharaj. And thank you, Rajgop, for wonderful kirtan. Very ecstatic. Thank you, Mataji, for coming all the way. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, for your association this evening. So very, very important topic. Next steps, right? There has to be a purpose. So let's think about it more in the future sessions. So we'll start Prasadam. If some of the devotees can help in the Prasadam downstairs, that will be great. And then Maharaj is here. If anyone has any questions, anything you want to share with him, ask him. He's available. So thank you again. And I forgot to thank Sarvang Damodar Prabhu for bringing Maharaj all the way from Gita Nagari. He has been just moving since morning. Ideally, should be me or somebody from here should be bringing the Maharaj, but he's very kind to offer his help. Thank you, Prabhu.
Mahaprasade Govinde, Nadi Vaishnave, Sapunya Vitamradya Vishwasya Jayate, Hariya Vidyacha, Joya Tareka, Jivave, Sagasmoy, Saramati, Jivati, Logamoy, Sugamati, Taki, Sansan, Sansarari, Krishna Balo, Jayamo, Purilana, Jivata, Mahaprashadam, Dilova, Seyanya, Nitam, Pavo, Radha, Krishna, Gunada, Jena, Koti, Janita, Janina, Janita, Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu, Nityananda, Surya, Veta, Gadadara, Shiva, Sari, Gaura, Pravinda, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
सुधा तो छोटे वाले ना दो आने ना
एक तो
छोटे से